Imagine the marble benches of the Curia glowing in torchlight, the hush of togas broken by the faint metallic whisper of steel against steel, and the sudden flash of a dagger's edge. A man who once rallied 60,000 legionaries under his banner, who subdued 340 cities across distant provinces, now lies pierced by betrayals in the very heart of the Republic. On the 15th of March, 44 BC, 23 deadly blows ended his life and reshaped Rome's fate forever. How did this unbeaten victor become prey to his closest allies? Over the next few minutes, you will feel the thunder of marching legions, witness the glint of power, and follow the fatal path that carried Julius Caesar from triumph to tragedy. Julius Caesar was born in the year 100 before Christ, though some records hint at 133 before Christ, into the patrician Julia gens, a family boasting 12 generations of consuls and praetors. Yet by his youth, the Julii had fallen on hard times. His father died when he was an infant. His mother, Aurelia, educated him amid Rome's streets fraught with political violence and legal purges. At 23, Caesar's first taste of lasting fame came during a surprise uprising among the tribes of southern Gaul. While many commanders hesitated, he rode straight into the enemy's lines, personally led the rescue of an isolated cohort, and forced the Gallic chieftains to sue for peace. Word of his courage spread like wildfire through the camps, and soldiers whispered his name with newfound awe. By the age of 25, he held the office of quaestor, and by 30 he served as aedile, positions he leveraged not for personal glory, but to stage some of the most spectacular games ever seen on the Circus Maximus. Chariots drawn by teams of wild horses thundered around the track. Gladiators from exotic lands dueled under the midday sun. Poets recited epic verses that echoed off marble columns. On one occasion, a visiting poet fell ill mid-recitation. Caesar, unperturbed, stepped forward and finished the verse himself, earning both applause and admiration. In 59 before Christ, at the age often reserved for seasoned statesmen, he was elected consul alongside Marcus Calpurnius Piso. Far from content, Caesar then forged the first Triumvirate in secret alliance with Pompey the Great and Marcus Licinius Crassus, an act that stunned the Senate and rewrote Rome's power map. Conservative senators watched with wary eyes as Caesar prepared to leave for Gaul, knowing full well that the provinces could make or break any commander. From 58 to 50, before Christ, Caesar led 9 legions, approximately 60,000 legionaries, across the wild landscapes of Gaul. His first challenge was the Helvetii migration, tens of thousands of tribesmen attempting to relocate. Caesar ambushed them at the Arar River, using earthworks and decoys to split their forces, then forced their leaders to surrender. His dispatches to Rome painted him as Rome's protector, a narrative he crafted with surgical precision. In 55 before Christ, he crossed the Rhine River, 30 meters wide and ice-cold, to intimidate the Germanic tribes. He built a wooden bridge in 10 days, demonstrated Rome's ability to strike anywhere, then withdrew, having achieved his psychological objective. Next came 2 visits to the shores of Britain. Landing with just 2 legions, he marched inland, planted the Roman standard, and then tactically retreated, an expedition more about political theatre than outright conquest, designed to awe both the Britons and the Roman populace back home. The centerpiece of his Gallic campaigns was the siege of Alesia in 52 before Christ. There, beneath darkened skies, Caesar's legions built 2 concentric walls, one facing the town, one facing outward, spanning nearly 90 kilometers of palisades, trenches, and traps. Supplies ran low. The Gauls, led by Vercingetorix, attempted daring night sorties. Reinforcements of 250,000 warriors threatened from the plains. For 150 days, Caesar's engineers labored under enemy fire. His soldiers held fast, and the name Caesar became synonymous with unstoppable resolve. When Vercingetorix finally surrendered his arms, thousands of prisoners knelt before him, a moment captured in dispatches that he personally penned, ensuring his legend outlived him. After smashing his rivals, Caesar returned to Italy in 49 before Christ. In January of 46, before Christ, the Senate named him dictator for 10 years. Just 2 years later, on the 16th of February, 44 before Christ, he was elevated dictator in perpetuity. Rome erupted in celebration and unease in equal measure. Statues of Caesar sprouted in every forum, theatres overflowed with crowds, chanting his name. Yet in private corridors, senators muttered about the loss of liberty. Caesar's greatest domestic reform was the calendar overhaul. Working with Alexandrian astronomer Sosigenes, he extended the year from 355 days to 365 days, added a 23-day intercalary month, and aligned Rome's timekeeping with the sun. That year of confusion in 46 BC featured an extra 2 months to reset the lunar drift, an adjustment that laid the foundation for the Julian calendar, which endured through the Renaissance and beyond. He also reshaped Rome's geography and society. He founded 150 colonies in Cisalpine Gaul and Hispania, granting land to war-weary veterans and planting Roman institutions far from the city gates. He commissioned 80 kilometers of new roads, straightening long, winding stretches of the Appian Way, so that merchants, messengers, and legions could traverse the peninsula with unprecedented speed. Meanwhile, he doubled the free grain dole, ensuring hundreds of thousands of citizens a steady food supply, and hosted games so lavish that they sometimes lasted 3 days straight. Elephants against lions in the new amphitheatre, chariot races conducted under temporary sunlit roofs. Every spectacle underscored his slogan, "I act for Rome." Yet beneath every triumph lay a whisper of tyranny. Senators debated whether Rome was being reborn or crowned anew. Was Caesar the Republic's savior or its gravest threat? On the 15th of February, 44 before Christ, Caesar attended the Lupercalia festival. 400 Luperci, their bodies glistening with oil, sprinted naked across the slopes of the Palatine Hill, striking bystanders lightly with goat skin thongs to bestow fertility and luck. Mark Antony stepped forward before 30 of Caesar's personal guards and offered him a laurel crown, once, twice, 3 times. Each time, Caesar gently pushed it away, insisting that his men remove it, as though fearful of appearing too regal. 200 meters from the festival's roar, in the small, 50-square-meter hall of the Theatre of Pompey, 60 senators gathered under flickering oil lamps. Decimus Junius Brutus Albinus, aged 49, Gaius Cassius Longinus circulated a carefully penned speech about defending the Republic. They debated final details: who would deliver the fatal blow, who would cry, freedom. When it was done, how to control the mob that would surely swarm the forum. On the Ides of March, as the morning mist clung to the Tiber, Caesar strode toward the Curia. A soothsayer had warned him to beware the Ides of March, but he laughed it off. The Ides come, the Ides go, he said. Inside, the chamber's order dissolved into chaos. 70 or so men hemmed him in. Casca struck first. Caesar raised his toga in a vain attempt to protect his chest. Then Brutus appeared, dagger in hand. 23 blades carved a crimson path. Caesar staggered, took exactly 23 steps, and collapsed at the base of Pompey's statue, his toga soaked crimson. The stunned silence shattered as a single cry rose. He is dead. Instantly, the forum exploded in shouts, some in grief, some in triumph. Mark Antony fled with the body, hiding it in his toga, planning a funeral that would ignite a city. 23 wounds, 23 steps, nearly 500 years of Republican rule hanging by a thread. Caesar's assassination destroyed the myth of senatorial invincibility and unleashed the civil wars that crowned a new prince, Octavian Augustus. If you felt the thunder of marching legions, the glint of steel in the torchlight, and the poignant silence of a republic's last breath, subscribe and let us know in the comments which corner of history you'd like to explore next. From epic battles to courtly intrigues, we've only just begun. Stay tuned for more dramatic journeys through the ages.